Alright, what up y'all? So today, it's all about my Audi S4. Now, I'm not here to make another video about, ooh, I got this, I got that. Today, I will be covering the 5 things that I hate about my Audi S4. Now, keep in mind that these 5 points, they are my personal preference and how I would like the car to be better. That doesn't mean that this car sucks. Clearly, I love this car a lot and I put in a lot of time and money into it. That's why I got this car in the first place, because I see a lot of potentials. But same goes to every car. There are flaws and they can be improved. The first thing that I hate or dislike about my car is the Bluetooth system. Oh my god, it drives me absolutely insane. The Bluetooth, don't get me wrong, I love the Audi MMI interface. You know, the navigation works perfectly. I actually love the navigation, excuse me, but the Bluetooth sucks. It sucks so bad, okay? My phone was the first phone that registered on the system, right? And it is the primary phone. Like, I connect it every day. Even sometimes just nothing happens, it just wouldn't connect. I have to, turn off my Bluetooth on my phone. I have to restart the car, and then I have to find my phone again, and then search my phone as a new phone. For some reason, it couldn't remember my phone. I don't know what's going on, but other than that, the interface, the drivetrain, the drive to select system works perfectly, and I love it. But just the Bluetooth, I cannot stand how bad is the Bluetooth. It doesn't connect sometimes. Once I had my friend in the car and I was driving, so I told him, I said, hey, can you, connect to the Bluetooth and play some music? That works fine. It took a bit to find his phone. I finally connected, everything's fine. And from now on, if he's in the car, his Bluetooth is on, but it's not connected to my car. And my Bluetooth is connected to my car, it will play his music for some reason. I have no idea how that even works, but it just happens. I swear to God, I wish that I'm lying right now, but I'm not. And I just don't know why it does that. And sometimes we will be driving somewhere together, taking my car and his car, we'll be driving side by side. His phone will connect to his car, right? My phone is connected to my car, but when we're driving so close, the Bluetooth would just get messed up. It get glitchy, my music would stop playing. It's just ridiculous. And I think, for such a good put together car and a MMI interface system, I would like the Bluetooth to at least work and not glitch out like 99% of the time, right? So that's the first one I hate about my car. Now, second thing I hate about my car, or A4 S4s in general, is the body style. Now, don't get me wrong again, I love how it looks. I think the car, it's aggressive but classy at the same time. It has that sporty look, but also has the German or Audi luxury style, and I love that. But if you compare a sports sedan, right, to M3, M4, or Mercedes, like C63, compared to their base model, so A4 and S4 is a step up of A4, and M3 is a step up of 328 or 335, and so on, C250, C300 to C63. In this car, the S4 compared to A4, it's a totally different car. You can't really put them side by side together because they're just so different. The engine is different, the suspension is different, the transmission is different, so it's almost like a brand new car. But from outside, it looks exactly the same. Yeah, sure, it has the S4 badges, a little bit more aggressive trunk, and they say it's about half an inch lower than A4, but I don't see it. That's not my point. My point is that if you're spending, almost $30,000 more than a base model A4, yeah, I am very satisfied with how the transmission, how the performance it is, and I'm very happy with that. I'm not complaining anything about that. I'm saying, at least can we get a little bit of a visual cosmetic difference from the outside perspective. You know, I love using a example, the 335 to M3 or 440 to M4. You know, from afar away, you will know that it's a M vehicle. You will know that's M3, M4. The body is wider, the fender it's pulled out more, it has a larger wheel, and everything about it is just more sporty. And we're back in the S4. Yeah, my car is modified, so people will know. You know, it's not a base model, it's not an A4. But you know, if you compare bone stock A4 to bone stock S4, and you take off all the badges from outside, no one will know that this little sedan is extremely powerful. It pulls really hard. It has good power. The dual clutch transmission, I couldn't even complain anything about that. You know, if downshifts like a rocket ship, it bangs to the rev limiter like a motherfucker. So, but at least can we get a little bit of a visual difference from outside? That's all I'm asking. And third thing that I don't like about my S4 is the steering wheel. Now, I'm not talking about the shape of the steering wheel. I love the flat bottom steering wheel. Although that actually may be on your list that you don't like this flat bottom steering wheel. Personally, I like it. But I'm talking about is the drive select system. They have comfort mode, they have the auto, the normal mode, right? And they have the dynamic and individual. Now, although those things are very unique and you can customize them a lot. You know, you can select how heavy is your steering, how loud is your engine sound, and how soft and hard is your suspension. But to me, the steering wheel weight, it's very fake. You know, when I put in dynamic mode, it's very, very stiff and heavy, which I like. You know, I like how a heavy steering wheel feels, but it almost feels like very, very artificial, you know, fake. It doesn't point to the direction that as precise as I would like it to. Although on the highway it's very steady, you don't have to worry about your steering wheel shaking all the time. It's just not precise enough. You know, it's not precise enough to feel like it's actually a heavy steering wheel. Now, you know, the BMW does a good job because BMW, it's heavy to begin with. Okay, it's heavy to begin with, so for me, I don't even have to put into sport mode. I can just leave it into comfort or light or whatever you call it in the BMW world, but it's already heavy, and that's precise. When you put on any sort of weight or sportiness to it, you add weight onto the steering wheel, and it just doesn't feel precise. You know, although it's very heavy, when I turn, I don't know how my car would handle, how much understeer or oversteer I would have. Although Audi jokes, Audi always understeers, which is true, but I just don't know how precise it will be. Another thing that I don't like about my Audi S4 is the blind spot sensor. Now, this thing, I don't know if it's just my car or is a general problem. From what I've heard a couple of Audi owners that have this problem, so I assume sometimes it could happen. The blind spot sensor, it works fantastic. You know, I have little lights on my mirrors. It lights up when you're moving forward and someone catches up. It shows you they're in your blind spot, and you would think that's very, very convenient for you, right? It is. It is when it fucking works. So there's two things that I don't like about my sensor. First thing is it has to work first, right? And for me, it just never works. The sensor starting to acting all weird when I think it was a week or two after I got the car. Actually, it was raining outside, and then you know, when I press it now, it doesn't work. Audi side assist, system's fault. I know it's your fault. I didn't do anything to the car. I know it's the system's fault. But back to what I'm saying is that it just suddenly doesn't work. It says, you know, system's fault. It doesn't work. So I was like, what's going on? I just got this car. So I brought it to the dealership. They were like, honestly, man, I can't tell you right on the spot because it could be a sensor failure, or it could be just we have to reflash whatever software. So I was like, okay, well, that's kind of shitty, is because I literally just got the car and you would think it works. So I was like, okay, I scheduled an appointment. I'm gonna come back, drop my car off, and see what's going on, right? As I was leaving the dealership, I was like, I'm just gonna give one last try and see if it works, right? I pressed it, boom, it turned back on. It's working. So it got me thinking, maybe it's just a glitch, or it has something to do with the weather. I have no fucking idea. I read in a lot of forums and stuff that if it's heavy rain or very, very dirty, you know, your car's very dirty, or rain especially, or snow, the sensor would not work. And which I can understand. You know, sensor, it detects the motion, and if it's raining or dirty or whatever, it doesn't work. That's fine. I'm not asking, you know, it works all the time, although it should. But after that incident, after probably a month or two, it stopped working again on a bright, sunny freaking day. It just stopped working, and I just haven't got a time to actually go to the dealership and get it checked out, because personally, I don't find that it's that big of a deal. I rather turn my head and actually check physically. Anyways, but that leads to another point, is that why I don't turn this on even though it's working sometimes. It's that it's orange. The color is freaking orange, and every time it lights up, I think someone that's using the blinker, someone's using their turn signal, because it's freaking orange and is right beside my side mirrors. And especially at night, you know, if you're driving on the highway and suddenly it lights up, I get scared, because I was like, whoa, someone is, you know, that close to me and trying to cut in my lane. And I looked over, there's nothing. It's just a blind spot, and it's freaking orange. You know, could you guys pick another color? Maybe it's a little bit more user friendly to the driver, that I don't have to get freaking scared every time it lights up. But that's just a personal thing. Let me know in the comments if you have the same problem, or if you would like to have a different color because it bothers you. But it doesn't work anyway, so I'm not even complaining. So let's jump in to my last point. That is, I really don't like how thick this middle supporting strut is. Now, I know sometimes you can't change that. You know, sometimes your car frame needs that support, and but I just don't like how thick it is and where it is positioned, because I'm not a very big guy, and I'm around 5'10", and I sit, you know, normally I don't sit too far back, I don't sit too close, but it's just this height and this position. When I make a right turn, as you guys can see, upcoming right here, I'm waiting, I can't see anything. I have to move my whole body. I have to grab onto the steering wheel, and I have to move my entire body to see. I can't see anything. It blocks my entire face, and maybe it's because I have a small face, but I just cannot see. This thing, it's so thick and so wide that it's just right in front of my face. So here's a stop sign. I'm gonna make a right turn, right? I can't see. I grab onto my steering wheel and I pull myself physically out of my seat and make a right turn. Maybe it's just me. I don't know if it's just me, but I can't see shit. It literally blocks my entire view. I have to pull myself out of the seat. So Audi, if you're watching this, if you guys can, you know, either fix the position of the steering wheel and the seat, or maybe just cut a little bit thinner, you know, just a little bit, so I can at least poke my head and I don't have to pull my entire body like this. So that wraps up the 5 things that I hate about my S4. It is a personal preference a lot of times, although this blocking the view kind of thing, it's a common thing, but maybe I'm just too short. But my S4 is not heavily modded. It's some sort of, you know, decent. I had some decent modifications. It drives different. Maybe that's why my steering wheel it's not as precise as I would like to. It doesn't mean that I dislike the S4 or not, or these 5 things happens in any S4. You know, Bluetooth, maybe, honestly, maybe just my car. The rain sensor, maybe it's just my case. Hopefully you guys don't have to go through all the trouble to fix a damn blind spot sensor. But as you guys can see, I don't hate my S4. I love it. This thing pulls hard. It sounds so good. And whoa, what are you doing? I almost got killed right there, but take 2. As you guys can see, I don't hate my S4. I love it, you know. It sounds so good. The transmission downshifts like a rocket, and the all-wheel drive system just launches the car so well. But you know, every car has its flaws, as I said in the beginning, and these are the things that I genuinely think Audi or whoever designed this can kind of just put in just a little bit of thought into user-friendly and adjust. So that wraps up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have other things that you agree or disagree, comment below, and I would definitely answer every single one of you. And I will also do a video that 5 things that I love about my S4, and honestly that will be way easier than this. So please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and share around, you know, your friends and stuff, because hey, who knows, these tips and stuff might help out another fellow Audi driver. So give this video a like, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
I got broads in Atlanta, just to lean in the family. Credit cards in the scammers, hitting the licks in the van. Legacies, family, wait and see, look like a panda. Going out like a Montana, 100 killers on the helmets. Legacies, family, wait and see.